and present service members, especially those who have fought and paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. God bless America.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Now, back to the Gila Tank Waterproofing Home Improvement Show, presented by Gutter Works. Once again, your host, Scott Mosby on KMOX.
Oh yeah, so much to talk about, so much time here. Stay tuned, got the Rick Edelman Show coming up after University of KMOX here at 1 o'clock. So much to talk about, and we've got the Blues playing on Monday night. And go Blues, man, you believe that? Wow. We're living in history right now. You think the Cardinals, you know, well, the Cardinals are, what goes up comes down, what goes down comes up. It's a lifelong thing. It is the baseball Cardinals. They'll be back. So anyway, lots of things happen. Let's talk to my friend Brian here. Hey, Brian, Scott Mosby, how can I help, sir?
Hi, my question's about vinyl windows. I've got, of course, old vinyl windows in my house, and one of them spit out the felt, I don't know, felt, whatever it is, those little fuzzy seals.
Yeah.
So I go to the home centers, the two major ones, and they don't have anything like that in the shelves at all. So I kind of start Googling around. It doesn't seem like there's very many places to buy it. They have very exacting measurements on the width, the height, and I don't know, I mean, is there T-molding that are a T-groove that these things slide into, or are they self-adhesive? I just don't know anything about it. There's not a lot out there on it.
Well, believe it or not, you're in effectively the auto parts business. So you can't put a Ford starter on a Chevrolet or on a GMC. You know, they're all different engineering designs, and they go together differently. The answer is yes, they are T-grooves. Yes, they are adhesive. Yes, they are varying widths. And the issue is getting those parts. The parts are expensive, and the experience to know what parts to get is expensive as well. The issue that the industry faces is in the amount of time it takes to fix your windows, that's equal labor to the amount of time to remove and install your windows. You see that? So you're kind of up against a financial and I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the point is that, you know, the guy that knows the stuff to come fix windows has the expertise to do other things that pay better. So that's why you don't have a whole lot of window fixer guys. There is a company that specializes in that stuff, and it's called Genesco, Genesco. Genesco. And what they do is exactly what you're looking for. So the fact that you're trying to do it yourself, you're probably going to find it. They may have somebody that will come out and do this. What happens is every time ABC Windows goes out of business, they buy the dead stock. And then XYZ Windows goes bust, and they buy all the dead stock for parts. So these guys are kind of like a boneyard for new parts for windows. So if you can take a picture and a piece and get into Genesco, and I haven't heard about it for a few years. They're up around Olivet area, in that area around Warson Road, something like that. And you know, there's hope for you, but finding somebody to do it for you is not what I suspect. And if anybody knows about it, leave them.
Is there anywhere on the sashes, and this goes for doors too, anywhere in the sashes or frames you would look for an identification tag? I've kind of gave them a fast once over. I don't see anything at all. No manufacturing mark.
No, they typically don't. You know, people that do, for example, I can walk in and pretty much know 80% of the brands just because I've handled them all. But there's no big branding place, which is why now on most of the windows, if you look down at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that it's an approved glass sticker for tempered or not, but it'll also have a brand which at least gives you a hint of where to look. If there's a tilt-out sash on this, Brian, tilt out the sash and then look for a sticker along the side of that sash. It might have something, you know, that gives you a sense of who made that window. But the issue with vinyl windows is they're all extrusions, and Joe and Pete and Ed and Tom can all make their own window if they can buy those extrusions. So around the United States, there are literally thousands of brands of vinyl windows, and only in the last 20 years have they started to roll up to larger manufacturers, because when the energy and performance, you know, when physics really became part of making windows, that's when they got really expensive to get the equipment to put them together. How's that for a long answer to a short question?
Well, no, I appreciate the detailed explanation. Doesn't sound very positive, but I'll look up the desk code. Do you have time for another 20 seconds for it?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, my entry door, front door, is a double door. One side pinned in to the floor. This is the ceiling, but it opens up.
Yep.
The seal between those, it's almost like a refrigerator seal, a solid,
Yeah.
I don't know. The previous owner, I guess there was a leak there. The previous owner had applied some sort of a sticky foam over the top of that, and it's just kind of boogered up. None of this stuff really appears that old. It's just obviously very low quality. But is that all? I don't see that at the home center. Is that also proprietary type?
Yeah, it is. And the issue is there's so many of them that the home centers can't afford to stock 100 brands, because, you know, only 4 or 5 of each type are going to sell. So, you know, from a business standpoint, Home Depot can't afford to put $100,000 of stock in to sell $4,000 of parts every year, you know. So that's it. Take a picture of that. Likewise, Genesco, they'll recognize whether it's a bulb, you know, compressing foam, you know, or a fuzz. So there's just so many types, and thresholds, and the threshold rubber on the bottom are just as complex as this. So just take it all to Genesco, if they're still there. I hope they're still alive and going.
Well, that's mind-boggling. I'm surprised they run it like that. You think it would be easier just to standardize?
Well, think about computers. I mean, we still aren't standardized on computers yet, because everybody wants their own latest, greatest, and, you know, so some of it is how to make the, you know, I don't have to outrun everybody. I just need to outrun the guy right behind me, so I'll come out with a better computer system. So windows and doors keep upgrading each other. Every time NASA finds out some new learning thing, you know, it filters down eventually through all the rest of us in windows and doors, and up goes the quality of the windows and doors, which is why new windows and doors can dramatically outperform the old stuff, and they have started to standardize, and that's why you're seeing lifetime warranties from this manufacturer or this window guy in town. What that means is, I promise you, you'll always be able to get parts, and not only that, I'll come change it for you. So that's why replacing windows is a big industry compared to parts.
Well, Scott, I appreciate it. I enjoy the show, and you have a nice weekend.
All right, Brian, good luck, my friend. You're in the big leagues if you haven't figured that out yet.
It's a little discouraging.
Yeah, no, it'll work